Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Grace Tori, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. If you guys just watched my previous episode, then you're probably like, what the heck? She looks the exact same. That's because I am batching. I am working, and I'm gonna be like all over the place, so I won't have time to like do it at a normal time. So this is a little bit of an older episode, but I hope you guys still enjoy it. I'm going to be reading Confessions, so I'm really excited about that. Just like crazy confessions that I found while scavenging Reddit. So let's talk about those. Really don't have much to say since I kind of gave an update in the last episode, and I'm like, I don't know what else is going to happen. So yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and jump in. Don't forget to follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're currently listening or watching on. I upload every single Sunday and doing bonus episodes when I can on Wednesdays until I go back to like a normal schedule, and then I'll be back to Sundays and Wednesdays. Right now I'm doing a lot of like story submissions, so Am I the A-hole, confessions, things like that. But if you have a specific topic you want me to cover, definitely let me know and I will add it to my list. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm Grace Tori, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Starting kind of heavy, my son's cat died. My son is non-neurotypical, lots of issues in school growing up and misunderstood by loads of people. Brilliant and kind, yet different. His best friend is his cat, and the relationship was beyond special. My son always said he wouldn't know what he would do if his cat died. He hoped it would be after he left home to go to college. He wants to be an aerospace engineer and would say he would be with his people then, so he would be able to better manage losing his cat. Today he witnessed his cat die from a difficult yet rapid death, and he held him as we raced to the vet who could not save him from a massive stroke. I've been dreading this day. I can fight teachers, school district, bullies, and even his dad to protect him, but I can't protect him from death. I too prayed he would be older to have more skills and support to cope with the grief and loss. My son cried briefly and then turned to console me. He said he was at peace with his cat's death because he was going to use his cat's memory to propel me to be a more kind and compassionate man. We can only move forward, Mom. My kid is awesome and perfect just as he is. Okay, well that's really, I wasn't expecting it to be that sad starting off, but that is like such a good thing to take away from it. I feel like it's really easy to get swallowed up by grief, and not me crying, okay, sometimes you just have to take like the approach of they wouldn't want me to be sad forever. They would want me to find motivation to move forward and do right by them. So really, really good on your kid for recognizing that even at like a young age. So yeah, okay. I didn't mean for things to start out this sad. Some are going to be more funny. Some are going to be more serious. But okay, let's move on. This one's 1 day old. I'm lying about being in college. I don't know what to call it or if I'm just lazy, but I'm completely unable to pursue my education past high school. It's been a few years since I graduated, and my sole attempt at college was a single online class more than a year ago, which I promptly lost motivation in and failed. I've kept myself working just to have some cash, but everyone in my family and my closest friends, online and offline, all believe in getting my associate's degree so I can transfer to a 4-year college to complete my bachelor's. I promised myself that I'll start going to college once I get therapy again, and I'll break the news to my parents and ask for help, but I can't. My parents never took news like this well, which is part of the reason why I think I compulsively hide so much from them. I barely scrapped by my junior and senior years of high school, including failing a few easy classes and having to drop out of certain academic programs. Now time is running out before I'm supposed to quote-unquote move out and go to a proper college, and I'm stuck in a lie. I never applied to any colleges or scholarships in high school, another thing I neglected then, and being accepted to a 4-year college at this point is probably out of the question due to my poor track record. The clock is ticking for me to do something. Anything, I guess. I think I'll have to talk to my parents. Worst case, they take the news badly. Best case, I tell them this and why I did it, and maybe they can understand and help. Okay, I don't know if anyone wants me to give advice or just, like, read it and let it simmer. I don't want to give unsolicited advice, but at the same time, I feel like if you're putting it on the internet, you need some advice, and maybe you guys can also take something from this. Stop lying without a long-term plan. I've noticed people be doing that. Stop doing that. Stop lying. I mean, don't lie, period. But if you're gonna lie, why do you lie with, like, when it's, like, a ticking time bomb? Like, you know this isn't gonna end well, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna lie about it anyway. Like, okay. I know a lot of people that have lied about getting their degrees, and guess what? They all got fired from their jobs. Also, it never ends well. It never ends well. Stop lying. If you believe it's a medical issue, you need to get that addressed. You said that you try to go to therapy. but you haven't. Like, you need to go to therapy. That's step one. Stop putting it off and go to therapy. I'm giving you tough love as a bestie. Like, go to therapy. What is wrong with you? They will be able to help you come up with a plan that a doctor has, like, put stamp of approval on as a therapist. I myself am not a therapist. But what I can say is you don't have to go to college. I think that a lot of people put pressure on you to go to college. Obviously, you're not going to want to do anything like corporate or anything like that because it does feel a lot like school where it's like kind of mundane, like you're doing paperwork and on your computer and stuff. That doesn't sound like something you want to do. Look into trade school. Like, you don't have to go to college, but you have to do something. You don't have to get your associate's degree, but you got to do something. Go, talk to your parents, go to trade school, job shadow, like, figure out what the heck you want to do, because sitting there doing nothing and just panicking and putting it off is not going to fix it. So, my thoughts. This one is kind of funny and long. Doesn't have a single comment. But let's talk about it. JoJo Siwa is my icon. That's the title. I don't know exactly where to post this, but my friends are sick and tired of me talking about JoJo Siwa, and I guess you could call it an obsession. They literally threatened to kill me if I didn't shut up. Unfortunately, they can't stand JoJo and constantly say mean things about her. Anyways, I have always liked JoJo from the time she was on AADC up until now, right after she drops first and hopefully not last EP. I feel like I know everything about her. The internet will let me. I know everything from her favorite musicians down to her height. And it says she's 5'9", just like me. I've watched everything go down with her throughout the years, and I feel really bad for how she's treated. I wish she knew she had more fans like me. I really wish she'd give me a chance, but I already know I'm not her type. I'm Blasian and femi-lesbian. She likes math or stems. Also, she hasn't had a POC girlfriend yet. Last night when she dropped Guilty Pleasure, I waited for the countdown and everything, and I was hypnotized. She is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, and I loved her new bangers approach with this while also giving a JoJo spin on it. Okay. This just keeps going and going and going, so I'm just gonna stop you there. I used to be this obsessed with One Direction, so I'm not gonna knock you for liking someone, whether they're problematic or not. I am gonna say that the chances of you dating them are very slim. You keep that Delulu, but it's not always the Salulu. So, maybe. I think my problem with why I was so obsessed with One Direction is I didn't spend enough time with my friends and, like, out in the real world. And so I spent all of my time, like, being a little teenage girl and, like, just, like, on the internet, like, chronically online. And I'm like, yup, I'm gonna marry them. And it didn't work out. Like, do I regret it? No. But I think that when it comes to this point, you do need to go touch some grass. You do need to hang out with friends and get more grounded with your current reality, because realistically, you are not dating JoJo Siwa. You are not in that realm at all. Like, you're not a celebrity. You're not in that life. You are very different, and you're in a very different place in your life. And you should celebrate that and embrace that as well, because I feel like a lot of times when people obsess over someone, it's because they are missing something within their own life. So, that's my take. Pop off, I guess. This next one says, I'm addicted to buying things I don't need. I'm a 19-year-old woman, and I have a serious shopping addiction. I buy gadgets, clothes, and random stuff online almost every day. Most of it I never use or wear. My apartment is filled with unopened packages, and my bank account is suffering. I can't seem to stop, even though I know it's harming my finances and mental health. I feel ashamed and out of control. As shitty as it sounds, that will stop when you no longer can afford food or rent. It's just part of being 19. You still have to learn how to manage your finances, and I think that you have to make managing finances seems a lot more exciting than it is. Like, you have to get excited about having a high yield savings account. You have to get excited about, like, I almost get competitive about saving money. Like, I'm like, oh, how much can I save this paycheck? Oh, that's a new personal best. Like, I make it fun. You have to make it fun. It just, like, I think that a lot of times people buy stuff online or whatever because of the little serotonin, the little dopamine hit. Like, you buy something, you get the little dopamine hit, and you're like, yes, I want to do that again. You need to find the serotonin and dopamine hits with saving money. and in other places that don't cost money. So you just need to divert your attention to other less expensive things. I find that when I get out of hand, that's what works for me. I just have to throw my phone very far away. And I hate saying touch grass, but like, you know, literally go touch grass. Like, go back outside. Go outside, away from technology, and find joy in, like, things like that. Because that's the only way to fix it. And this one is a little bit more of a serious one. It says, ready to leave. I'm 22 and my boyfriend is 23 and he's cheated and lied to me so much. I'm just turned off, but it's frustrating because all day I just feel like I want to be filled with something big. Okay, this got sexual. We're not. Nope, we're moving on. Yikes. I'm trying to keep it PG. Okay, next one. I cannot get over my first love. This is the only place that I'll ever post this. I'm going into 9th grade now. Oh my god, you are a baby. Okay, reading on. I was in 7th grade at the time. I'm a pretty shy girl, and I still was at the time of meeting this boy. He was in one of my classes, and he caught my eye as soon as the school year started. He has extremely bright blonde hair, very beautiful blue eyes. You are a very good writer for a 9th grader. I thought he was cute, however, I did not think that I would ever have a chance with someone like him. I ended up getting put across from him at a seat change. I remember not being able to talk to anybody at the table due to my shyness and anxiety. He encouraged me to take part in the conversations and would always try to include me. We talked for a while every day. After about a couple of weeks, he asked me for my number. He used to excuse that as it was for helping each other with homework, but I think that we both knew it wasn't the case. For the next 4 months, I absolutely fell in love with this boy. We talked all summer over text, and before school ended, he biked to my house and gave me gifts. What kind of gifts? He was so incredibly sweet to me, and I was ready to give him my world. Oh my god. Girly! We had been talking from late May to early August when I began noticing some changes. He got very dry and was extremely uninterested in any of our conversations. He wouldn't text me first anymore, and I had to text him every time or else we wouldn't talk. And I had sleepless nights and would cry often because of how much he meant to me. I continued to try to get him to engage in conversations but I began to get the impression that he was losing feelings or something. One day I simply stopped. I stopped texting first in an attempt to see if he really cared about me, and what do you know? He never texted me again. For my entire 8th grade year, leaving out the part where I had a messy talking stage with a toxic boy, I would see him in the hallways and reminisce on the past. I just don't understand why he left me. It would be nice if I at least got some closure or something. I am part of my school yearbook team, and I had a conversation with him during distribution because he was in our category of last names for the books we had to give out. While my friend was taking ages to find his book, he was standing across from me. We exchanged glances on and off, and became super awkward. So I broke the silence with, "How have you been?" And he replied with, "I've been pretty good." I asked him about his injuries, and then he left. Haven't spoken to him since. All I want is to know why he left me. It has made me terrified to try again with any other person, and I don't think that I could see myself having the same amount of attraction for anyone as I had with him. He was only one for me, now he is gone. I know it deep down in my heart. Okay, this sounds like something I would have written in 9th grade. Girl, I get you. Are you a Cancer moon? Because I am, and we're emotional. You say that you can't get over him, and you're going to continue to say that until you meet someone else. And that's just the case. Also, he's probably going to come back to you and just randomly text you one day. Being honest, it'll be like a year from now, just randomly he'll be like, "Hey," like he didn't just disappear for 2 years. Don't answer him because he's using you as a placeholder. And that's just how it is. But you are in the 7th grade, or you were in the 7th grade, now you're in the 9th grade. You have a whole long life to live. And he wasn't your first love. He was the first situationship you had. Which situationships can sometimes be a little bit more brutal than loves. But there's a lot more situationships to come. You need to just buckle up and accept that. Why is someone sitting outside of my house? Buckle up and take the lessons as they come, because it's going to suck sometimes. You're going to cry sometimes. You're going to be really happy sometimes. And that's just how learning how to be in a relationship is going to go. I journaled a lot in high school, and that helped me a lot, so I definitely recommend that. You can keep journaling on Reddit, because this is basically a journal entry, a very well-written one, but, you know. Next is, I secretly resent my sibling for being the favorite. Ooh, juicy. I, 19 female, have an older sister, 27 female, who has always been the golden child in our family. She's successful, smart, and seemingly perfect in every way. My parents constantly praise her and compare me to her, even though I have my own achievements. I try to be happy for her, but deep down I resent her for always being the favorite. It's training a relationship because I can't help but feel jealous and inadequate. I know it's not her fault, but I can't shake these feelings of bitterness and resentment. The way that I think about it is you need to stop resenting your sibling and start resenting your family. I know that sounds bad, but it's not your sibling's fault. It's your parents' fault for making you feel that way. And it's a conversation I think that you need to have with your parents and not place that blame on your sibling because they can't change it. Like, they can do things and say, like, oh, thank you for that, like, praise or whatever. But I think that so-and-so also did a great job. Like, they can do things like that, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to make it. Like, it's not their job to do that. They may not even realize that's what's going on. It's your parents' job to make you feel loved and wanted and adequate. So that's a conversation you definitely need to have with your parents. I lied about my degree to get my dream job. Ooh, juicy. I, 22 female, have been working at my dream job for the past 3 months, but I got it by lying about having a degree that I never finished. I was a few credits short, but I put it on my resume anyway. I excel at my job and have received multiple promotions, but the fear of getting caught is always there. I hate living with this lie and feel like a fraud, but I can't bring myself to come clean and risk losing everything I've worked for. Like I said, I know quite a few people who have done this, and all of them lost their jobs. I think most of them were, like, in, like, science fields, though. You know, STEM, engineering. I think it depends on what field you're in. If you're in, like, marketing, you know, it's fine. I think that as someone who has talked many a days, many a nights about this with friends, do it quietly and get your degree, and then you won't feel bad anymore. Because no one really looks at the date. Just, like, go to online school, do the 1 or 2 credits, and bam. You got it, and then you won't feel as bad anymore. So that is the last confession I have. Maybe I should have gotten some more. Did you guys like doing confessions better than anything else? I'm really curious to know what your thoughts are on this episode versus the other ones, because these are different. I will try and find a little bit crazier ones next time. These were not as crazy as I thought they would be, but I'll try to find some crazy ones. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you so much. I am sorry that I didn't do a Wednesday episode. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm in Oklahoma currently when you're watching this. Yeah, I know, crazy stuff happening here. But I will be back, and I will post another story episode soon. So don't forget to follow whatever platform you're currently listening or watching on. Don't forget to leave a rating, a like, a review. Throw up the engagement, get that engagement going up. It means the world to me, helps out my channel so much, helps out my podcast so much on whatever platform it's on. Like, literally game changer. So if you have about 2 seconds of your time, it's free, and it would mean the absolute world to me. I think that's pretty much it, though. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye!